Daily and welcome back to my channel. So today I've just got a lovely video on advice for applying to university. It's coming up to that time of year again, so I thought that this would be really useful for people who are thinking of applying to university but maybe don't know what they should keep in mind when applying to uni. So if that's something that interests you, keep watching. So, the first piece of advice I'm going to give you may seem obvious, but it is also the most important. And this is decide what it is that you want to study at uni and make sure it's something you actually want to study and not something you feel like you should study. It's okay to change your mind when you're applying to university. You might want to study one thing, but then realising that you actually don't want to study it and there's something else you're more passionate about. And I would really encourage you to study something that you are passionate about because, well, you're going to be studying it for like 3 or 4 years. You might go on to do something in that field in the future, and it would be good if it's something you actually want to do. I changed my mind when I was applying to uni. For the longest time, I told myself I'm going to apply to do law undergraduate, and look at me now, I'm doing a history degree, but I plan to do like a law conversion. So it's okay to change your mind and go along other routes if that's what suits you best, because it's your unique experience, so you're the one going to have to live it, so make sure it's something you want to study. Tip number 2 leads on very nicely from the first one, and this is to research universities that are best for your subject. Now, we all know there are universities that have a really good, all-around reputation. However, the experiences of that university may vary by subject, and I would recommend looking at subject rankings and subject league tables to determine which uni is possibly best for you. I only say this because your experience of studying your degree can greatly impact your experience of uni, and you might find that there's a uni that's actually really good for your subjects that you might prefer, and that way you're getting more out of your degree as well. I also recommend looking at the syllabus and the curriculum for the subject you want to study at the universities that you plan on applying to, because the curriculum can give you a bit more of an insight into what exact areas of your subjects that uni looks into. Look at the list of the lecturers there, what do they specialise in, and it could be something completely different to the part you're interested in, so it would be good to also look at that. The next piece of advice I'm going to give you is to decide whether or not you want to live at home while studying at uni or if you want to move away. Now, I live in London, so there are a plethora of universities I could have chosen from if I wanted to stay at home, and that was originally my plan in year 11, year 12, and then I was like, you know what, I actually want to move away, have a bit of a different experience. So you should also decide if that's something that you want to do. Obviously it kind of depends on where you live. If you live somewhere where there aren't really any unis locally, then you're probably going to have to move away, but also think about how far do you want to go. I mean, I go to Warwick, which is 2 hours away, so it's not the furthest I could have gone because I didn't really want to go that far. And you don't also have to go somewhere extremely far if that's not what you want to do. But if that is what you want to do, then look at the unis that are a bit further away and look at how good they are for your subject and travel plans as well. There is no shame in moving away for uni, and there's no shame in staying at home for uni. It all comes down to you and what you think will maximise your uni experience, really. Also, look at the financial side of it. It could be cheaper for you to stay at home, and if that is more important to you, then by all means do that. The next tip I'm going to give you I think is really important, and it's something that I didn't do enough of, and that is visit the unis that you are interested in applying to. I say this because you can really tell whether or not you want to go to a uni once you get onto the campus, and that was actually played a major role in me deciding that I didn't want to go to uni in London anymore, because when I visited the campuses I didn't really like the way they felt. Obviously it's in the city, so there were lots of buildings everywhere, lots of random people everywhere, and I didn't really like the feel of it when I visited them. But then when I visited Warwick's campus, as soon as I stepped foot there I was like, I want to go to uni here. However, that was the only one of my 5 options I actually did visit, So I also applied to like Nottingham and like Loughborough as well, and some other unis I also had offers from, and I didn't visit any of the other ones. I think I just didn't. Like, I don't think I had a reason to not visit them, I just didn't. But I kind of wish I did because, well, even though I know that I loved Warwick's campus, I don't know if I would have loved any of the other ones more. But obviously, as I hadn't visited them, I couldn't make a definite decision. I mean, I'm not mad at the decision I made either way, like going to Warwick, but I would recommend visiting their campuses because you might really love a uni and you might visit it and be like, oh, actually, maybe you don't like it, maybe you don't like the area. So I would recommend visiting the campuses. And many unis will also have like offer holder days as well, so take advantage of those. This next piece of advice I'm going to give you, I believe is actually quite underrated and really useful, and that is talk to your teachers for advice if you're stuck on figuring out what you want to study or where you want to go. I did a lot of this. Like, I was seeing my teacher every single day. I was like, I have this question and that question and I don't know what to do about this. And it's really useful because you get someone else's opinion. You get the opinion of someone who knows you as well, someone who has taught you, someone who should have, gone to uni, if they're your teacher. But it can be a lot more insightful hearing it from someone who knows you personally, especially if you're stuck on what to study. They can really give you some ideas about that and help you narrow down your choices. So the next tip I have for you is to keep your personal statement relevant. Okay, if you're applying to do like a medicine degree, you don't need to include that time you did a cooking class like 3 years ago. Like, you just don't need to. Everything you include in your personal statement, just make sure it's relevant to the degree you want to study. Make sure you can say things about it, of like what you learned from it and what you hope to gain from studying that degree and how that thing you did will help you. And don't hesitate to have other people proofread your personal statement because, well, as you wrote it, you might think, oh, this is like amazing, but if other people read it, they will be able to give you like some helpful feedback and constructive criticism. They should not be mean, but they should be constructive. And it's really nice to have another set of eyes look over your personal statement. It's okay to do many drafts. I think I had like 10 like full drafts of my personal statement by the time I submitted it. So change as much of it as you need to. Don't be afraid to do that, but keep it relevant. Do not go on these tangents because, well, the people reading it just kind of don't care about that stuff. They care about the stuff that is relevant to the degree you want to study. And finally, the last piece of advice I have for you is make sure your insurance choice is a uni you actually wouldn't mind going to. Like, make sure you actually like that uni. If you don't know already, when you apply to uni, at least in the UK anyways, you have to pick an insurance choice, which tends to be a uni that has like lower entry requirements for the subject you want to study, and that's just kind of like a backup in case you don't get into your first one. But when picking your insurance choice, pick it wisely. You don't just pick any university that just has a lower entry requirement. Just kind of visit it as well, see like, oh, just in case you end up there, make sure you'd actually enjoy it. Obviously there's no way to be completely certain, but I would say definitely put a lot of thought into your insurance choice. Okay guys, so that's all the advice I have for you for this video with advice for applying to uni. I hope it has been helpful. I mean, I myself am a uni student, so I've like been through this process, and I just thought I'd give some advice on things to really focus on when applying to uni. If you enjoyed this video, but check out my other uni advice videos. I have made a whole playlist of them and I continually add to that every single week. Also make sure you like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, and subscribe so that you don't miss another one of these videos. Like, make sure you do that. So no more to say. I hope you have a nice day.